Hey everybody, welcome to Give Me 5 minutes with Fort Smith City Director Neil Martin, where we talk about the events that happened last week and we look ahead to what's going on this week. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. This last Tuesday on February 13th, we had a special meeting and a study session. The special meeting was around accepting the resignation of the internal auditor. That was a 5-2 vote. It was Director George Katsavis and I voted against accepting that. And I didn't believe it was going to change anything, but I know the work that our city auditor has put in. I know she's been under a lot of pressure over the last few months, primarily about this Animal Haven audit. And I came into sharp disagreement with my colleagues on the board a number of times over this Animal Haven audit. And so I went ahead and voted against this. I didn't think it was going to change anything, but really recognition for her hard work and effort that she's done for over the past 9 years serving the city. So we went ahead and did that. And there's a lot more to that whole Animal Haven audit story, but that was just my thoughts on it. Then we got into our study session. The first thing we talked about was a renewal of our city auto and property insurance. Not a lot of discussion there. Where we had a ton of discussion was around Hawkins Weir engineers regarding potential water mitigation projects. You've heard a couple months ago or a few meetings ago, we talked about water rates, and we had questions about water and how water was transmission lines down to the city, capacity, all those kinds of things. And it's going to be hard to boil this down an hour and a half discussion into just a couple seconds. But basically what Hawkins Weir was saying was at our maximum daily demand, we're basically exceeding capacity in our maximum daily demand. Maximum daily meaning the hottest part of the year, using as much water as we need to. We're exceeding our capacity. There's a number of different things that we looked at and that we talked about around costs. We didn't talk about anything related to real conservation measures, what that would look like, but a number of very important things were discussed in that meeting. I would encourage you to go to fortsmithar.gov/watch. And you can watch that full discussion. There's a lot to it, and there's more to come. We've got to really get to the bottom of it. Based on projections that we've seen, 22 million gallons a day are used, which doesn't jive with the information that Hawkins Weir had. And I think I'm not faulting Hawkins Weir for anything. I think that's just the data that they have. There's just some things that didn't quite square away. 40% of the water that is produced at our water treatment facilities go outside the city, so it goes to other customers. So really a lot of things that we need to square away. If we're going to talk anything about rates or anything about conservation, anything like that, we've really got to look at where all this water's going, who it's going to, all that stuff. So a lot of things happening there, and there's a big backstory around this as well. So one of these days we might go live and talk about all of that. But it was a very interesting discussion. I encourage you to go watch that. We have a meeting this Tuesday, a voting meeting, a regular meeting this Tuesday, February 20th at the Blue Lion, 101 North 2nd Street in downtown Fort Smith. We'll be talking about a number of different things. I'm only going to give you the highlights. You can go to fortsmithar.gov/watch to look at the full agenda. We're going to vote on inclusion of the mayor and one member of the board of directors at all meetings and conference calls with the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality. I think that's highly important for us. We'll be voting to lease city offices at the current city offices down on Garrison, so we'll be voting on that. We will be we're applying for a grant, or we received grant funds from FEMA, about nearly $2 million, and using that to purchase flooded homes in the Stenard, 31st Street areas that consistently flood over and over and over. So this will be an opportunity to purchase those homes, stop the instances of flooding in these homes, and hopefully reduce some of those problems that we're having in that area. We'll be voting to accept a bid and authorize purchase and installation of splash pad amenities at Martin Luther King Park. It's about $700,000, but there's been a lot of age and wear and tear and deterioration on those existing amenities. So kind of a redesign of that splash pad will be pretty cool. And then also we'll be voting on a change order for construction of additional basketball courts at Tillis Park. So I've got some questions about it, but the plan is to have 2 basketball courts at Tillis Park due to the heavy usage at Tillis for those basketball courts. So a number of things. Again, I encourage you to go to look at the full agenda and see all the things that we're voting on. That's it for this week's Give Me 5. I hope the information was informative and made you better aware of the items that are in front of your board of directors. We'll do this again next Sunday on Give Me 5.